Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick little video on where we are, things you can run home, kind of tying things in. Really, our main focus has been trying to create a little bit of independence, a little bit of confidence with that independence. She's definitely getting a lot better in her crate. I think she's starting to think of the crate as a little bit more pleasant of a place. The tree trimming thing was a huge help. I just left her out and about, free roaming in the room while I stepped out, and she sat at the door and cried. So I think she's at least finding comfort in the enclosed space, but a little bit still unsure of freedom, which is fine. I mean, personally, I prefer for dogs to be in crates when I'm not around anyway, just for safety, so they're not getting into anything, chewing things like that. Excuse me. I'm gonna go over some kennel stuff, crate stuff in a minute. I first kind of wanted to go over how I'm working with her on her leash walking and our place command. So before I get to the place command, can you name my leash? Thank you. I have her just on a slip lead. I either have this little tiny one or have another one that's same size but different material. I like for it to be something that's around the neck, just so that I can communicate a little bit clearer. I haven't done any prong work or anything like that. I really haven't found much of a need. I do think it would probably look much nicer with a prong, but if I can avoid a prong, I will. So I want it to be around the neck so that I can be a little bit clear with direction of the leash pulling, things like that. Whereas I don't know if she's in a harness. I always just assume that people that have these little weenies have them on harnesses. It's pretty common. But with the harness around the center of her body, it gets a little bit conflicting when you pull. It's just pulling the center of her body. She can deal with a lot of pressure there. So there's usually a lag in communication because she's willing to just pull into it because it's not really affecting her at all. With the slip lead, it is putting a little bit of pressure on her neck, so she's slightly more responsive to it, at least more than the harness, the halter, whatever they're called. Prong collar, the reason I usually like them is because there is that little bit extra response to discomfort, so I'm actually able to apply so much less pressure because as soon as I put even the littlest bit on from the leash onto it, they move away from the pressure. So that response time is like so fast that it's almost like, why would you not use it? So that might be something that I go to within, today's Thursday, I might try it, play around, see how she responds to it. Otherwise, again, she's been doing really nicely with the slip lead. So what are you doing? You're eating fuzz. So when we're out walking, I use the command, let's go for walking, and anytime she starts to forge ahead, which is pretty often right now, I just do a light pop and release up like this. So I'll say no, pop, and then good when she fixes her positioning. And I want it to be straight up and back so that we're interrupting the forging ahead. I don't want to drag or yank her up off of her feet or anything like that. Just allowing her to pull. If she gets ahead, that's something where they just tend to go right into that pulling. So if she gets really far ahead, I'll stop moving forward, kind of guide her back with leash pressure until she's back by my side. Let's go. Hey, Stella, let's go. You'll see, nope, just a little pop like that. Nope, my camera follows me. Let's go. And I'm gonna keep moving. I'm not gonna stop and let her, sniff everything. Obviously this isn't a great example in here because she doesn't care about anything in here. But just for sake of making a video, I did the video in here. Let's go. So I'm not stopping, letting her sniff and pee everything. I'll save those opportunities. Let's go. We're not in there right now. I use those more as a reward. So she's been really nice on her leash. Nope, good girl. I'll let her stop and sniff as a reward. Good girl. And then sit. Good girl. When I stop moving, I like to ask her to go into a sit, just so she knows the expectation that we're not moving around. She's not doing all of the stuff until I'm ready to say, okay. And again, I want to be mindful of our markers. Those help her distinguish what the expectation is. So good is telling her that I like that. No is telling her I don't like that. I use the word yes sometimes when I'm just marking a new behavior. So for her, she's really struggling with her down command. Every single wiener dog I work with, for whatever reason, they're not great at the down command. I think it's because so close to the ground. Whenever she goes into a down, I use the word yes, and I let her run to me to get the reinforcement. Okay is gonna be really set behavior, meaning you're done, you can do whatever you want to, so. What? There's nothing over there. Going into, actually, I'll demonstrate the down. So we're still working on it. Everything else, she's doing really great at the down. It's kind of like her kryptonite. Okay. Down. Always make the liar out of liquid. Yes. Yeah, so good. Down. Yes. So when I say yes, she's able to come out of behavior and run and come get her reinforcement. So for me, that teaches her that it's really exciting. I'm able to do a lot of reps to get her excited about it. That's it. Good. And then, okay. Well, no food for that one. There's no food for that one. Good girl. All right, and then the place command. Stella, place. Good. Hopefully she did the shot. The place is going to be something that I recommend incorporating at home. It's something that I use to build independence, so she's able to hang out on a stationary object, almost like an anchor, as you move around her. So right now we're working on building up that